Hello and welcome to Feel Good Friday, your weekly dose of positivity, right here on our Facebook and YouTube channels. This week, the entire show is devoted to my hometown of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Where is Cedar Rapids, Iowa, you might ask? Well, I got a map for you. Here's a map of the United States. Here is a dot, you can see, that's where we are, Memphis, Tennessee. Here is a shot of the drive to Cedar Rapids. It's anywhere from 8 to 10 hours, depending on how many children you have in your car or how many times you stop. And this is a map of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Comparable size to perhaps Knoxville and a Chattanooga. It's where I grew up. And a week ago, Cedar Rapids was hit with a land hurricane. Essentially, by definition, that is what happened. Only the difference is Cedar Rapids didn't get all of the notice, the days ahead of time, that would help people prepare for a possible hurricane-like storm. They got a couple of hours, and in some cases, only a couple of minutes because they saw the storm rolling through and weren't following any of the local outlets. And the devastation that hit the city was catastrophic. Literally, the whole city hit in some kind of way. Trees down everywhere, on houses, on cars, in backyards, on playgrounds. And I'm from Cedar Rapids. I grew up there. I went to elementary, middle, and high school. And so I've been watching my friends from afar who have had devastation hit their own homes or their families' homes, or who've been helping their neighbors and clean up their neighborhoods. And the stories that are coming out of there are just finally starting to get out in the national news. A lot of my friends here in this area didn't even know that it happened. And there are a lot of different reasons for that we could get into, some of which have to do with the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic. And we're in the middle of a pandemic and a land hurricane hit my hometown. But you know me, I'm positive. I always see the good in situations. And one of the things that I noticed and was inspired by is that on Facebook and on social media, all of my friends that live in the Midwest have been doing whatever they can to help those in need. Whether it's collecting donations, going and purchasing some of those donated items, taking their chainsaws to Cedar Rapids, helping cut down the trees and branches, or giving folks a place to stay because they weren't badly hit. The power has been out for a long time and folks are still coming together, and the community is just really inspiring. So of course I can't be there given that we're in the middle of a pandemic and I didn't want to travel up there for my health or for their health. I teamed up with one of my friends, Adam Orton, who we used to work at a TV station, KCRG, together. We were production assistants, and he now does work similar to what we do in Cedar Rapids and in eastern Iowa. So I asked him, can you take your camera out? If you happen to go out and do anything to help with the relief efforts, could you document some of it, maybe interview someone and send it my way? Well, Adam did that, and not only did he do that, but he put together a story that I then collaborated with him on, and we put together a piece that's showcasing folks who are capturing moments who felt so called to help after they saw the devastation. So take a look.
We had what many would consider a Category 3 on-land hurricane. They call it a Derecho. It just tore through Iowa and left 250,000 people without power. Most of the damage in our area was done in this little town, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I was hired to come out here and shoot some footage of the recovery process, and I just noticed it was a complete mess. I couldn't believe that, the city I lived 15 minutes from would look like unrecognizable. People sleeping outside in tents like a third world country. Definitely made me tear up the first time I saw it. There's about 5 or 6 apartment complexes like this. The roofs are gone, the walls are caved in. Just immediately thought of the people who couldn't reach the stores that were 20, 30 minutes away. And so I just got some hot dogs together, my wife and I, and we came out here. Since then, we've gotten donations, and we've mostly focused our efforts now on fans and flashlights, lighting solutions. Right now, it's mad out here. There is no way to get ice. There's no way to get power, and so they're left in the dark.
Thank you, Adam, for putting that together. Also, thank you to Brady Smith for posting that horrifying video of the tree falling on your house. I've been following your cleanup efforts all week, and I know you just got power back in the last couple of days. You know, the thing that's so heartbreaking about that is that you see folks who were already dealt some bad cards in life, in addition to and on top of the pandemic. But then you see people coming together to help them and to try and provide food and water and shelter, some of our most basic needs. And then the folks who've been out there working 12 to 18-hour days to get the power back on across the area. The people who are doing the tree removals. I think 2020 is really the year of unsung heroes, folks who we perhaps took for granted before all of this started. So my heart goes out to Cedar Rapids and to all of my friends and their families who are impacted by this storm. I cannot wait to come up there and visit and help in whatever way I can, whenever I can, which won't be anytime soon. But we will post some links in the comments section here for anyone that's watching that feels moved to donate or be a part of the solution from a distance like I am. I've been able to drop a couple of Venmo into some folks' accounts and obviously get the word out with this story that Adam helped shoot and edit. And you know, I do want to share one thing that the Cedar Rapids Moms Co. blog shared, and that is a side of optimism to this. And they posted basically 11 silver linings from this terrible, terrible storm. And I think they all have something to say, because if you didn't know your neighbors before this, now you probably do. You have fewer this is a bad one, but you have fewer leaves to rake when the fall comes. Your energy bill will certainly be lower. But I think the real thing to take away from this is that we have a newfound appreciation for those who work in trades, and we're watching what community looks like, and we're seeing it unfold exactly how Iowa does. So I'm proud to say that I'm from Cedar Rapids. It's hard to watch the devastation from afar, but I share this and devote today's episode to that because I'm proud of the work that people are doing in Cedar Rapids to come together and to help their neighbors and to move forward. And if there's one thing I learned in covering the floods of 2008, Cedar Rapids knows how to recover. And I wish everyone a speedy recovery, as slow and fast as that will happen during a pandemic. Let us remember to be grateful for simple things this weekend, things like electricity and water, certainly not taking those for granted. And we'll see you next week right here on Feel Good Friday. Have a good weekend.